Welcome back to another NXT review with me, Mr. Parky, and on behalf of the British Fist, if you have any comments on the show, as per usual, put them down in the comment section below. And this week, I guess, was the week of the big rematch between Adrian Neville and Tyson Kidd for the NXT Championship, even though I thought they'd give it more than a week's build, but that kind of caught me by surprise. I'll just come out and say that right away. Let's get on to this show. We only really had 4 segments, so there isn't all that much to talk about in the show. Most of the show was really dominated around 2 segments, and that was really going to determine how good or how bad this show was, in my opinion. So to open the show, we had 6 Divas Tag Action with Bayley, Emma, and Paige versus Summer Rae, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte. Once again, I'm wondering why Paige got stripped of the NXT Women's Championship because she couldn't be there, even though she's there. But I guess I'll have to look past that WWE logic. This segment really... it was set up last week in a segment where, you know, Charlotte beat Bayley and Summer Rae made her return, etc. And I guess really we should have known that this was going to be the end of the BFS and they were going to do something to separate Summer Rae from Sasha Banks and Charlotte, as Summer Rae has just come back to WWE TV as a babyface. So we must have known something was going to happen there, and it's exactly what did happen. You know, now Sasha Banks and Charlotte are pretty much separated from Summer Rae. You know, obviously now Charlotte is the alpha female in that group now, and that is the way it should be. Summer Rae is now on WWE TV. There's not really too much point in her being in NXT anymore, and Charlotte is now the NXT Women's Champion. So really, this really was done how it should have been played out. Maybe they could have, you know, teased the tension just a little bit more, but you know what? It's one of the things where let's just get this done so we can carry on with this. Also, very interesting that Bayley got the pin on Charlotte, though. I do wonder if they're grooming her to be the new #1 contender. I mean, Emma and Paige are both on the the WWE roster now. Paige is now the Divas Champion. She can't fight for the belt. Emma is in a storyline with Santino, which is one of the reasons why I stopped watching SmackDown and WWE. So I guess Bayley, it kind of leaves her as the only real other babyface to go after Charlotte, even though maybe I imagine WWE or NXT will probably end up pushing Alexa Bliss at some point down the line. So we had How You Doing? Colin Cassidy versus shitty French national anthem Sylvester Lefort with Marcus Luis, or however you say his name. And, you know, as in typical WWE fashion, America beats foreign country. Yes, S-A-W-F-T, soft! The most hilarious segment of the night, in my opinion, by far, was the segment involving Sami Zayn and the very, very well-hyped Mr. NXT. I mean, he even got a contract signing with JBL himself, the GM of NXT, to hype up his debut on the same show. So you can imagine my surprise, my honest surprise, when it turned out that Mr. NXT was actually an Olympic gold medalist. Kind of similar to Kurt Angle. I mean, how can you go wrong with this? I mean, this guy is a legit athlete. Apparently, he got bronze medal in the decathlon, according to the commentators. And they must know their stuff because they must be journalists. Also, gold in the high jump, so he's multi-talented. He's a multi-talented athlete. How could WWE have Sami Zayn beat Mr. N? I tried, guys. I tried. Turned out Mr. NXT was Bo Dallas. This was fucking hilarious. And I guess the best thing about it was the crowd knew it was Bo Dallas and they were like chanting all sorts of stuff like, "You don't fool us," and "Bo will leave, Bo will leave." And then you got to the point where Sami Zayn knew it was Bo Dallas, and I'm sitting there thinking, how the hell did JBL not realize that was Bo Dallas? You're trying to tell me that the NXT Universe recognise who Bo Dallas is under a mask, but JBL doesn't. A former World Heavyweight Champion doesn't. I'm just saying. This segment was so funny in so many different ways. You had the match itself with Sami Zayn won, and when Sami Zayn pulled off Bo Dallas's mask, it looked like someone just pulled down his shorts. It was like covering himself for some ungodly reason, and then security ended up taking him out the arena, and the quote of the evening, in my opinion, from Bo Dallas: "He touched my bum!" And then they carry him out of the arena, and like I said, I'm just crying with laughter as the security are taking him out the arena, and Bo Dallas is saying, "I'll go quietly," and then he runs out and scares a load of people outside Full Sail. This was gold. I think with Bo Dallas, they should keep doing this with him. Keep finding different ways for him to try and get back into NXT. Hell, have him be a member of the crowd or something, and then get kicked out. Oh, I want to see more of this. This was so funny on so many different levels. This was even funnier than the post-match promo he did when he actually had to leave NXT. Yes! So I must admit, it took me a while to recover from seeing Bo Dallas being taken away in a massive golf cart and the commentator saying they didn't even have the decency to take him out in a real cock. It took me a while to really get over that. I didn't really regain my composure until this match started. You had Adrian Neville versus Tyson Kidd for the NXT Championship. Like I said at the beginning, I was like, what? This is happening tonight? Like, they had a match 2 weeks ago on NXT TakeOver. Had a segment last week, and I thought maybe they'll build this up a little bit, and they just had it on this show. They didn't really announce it for this show, did they? I must have missed it or something. I don't know, but anyway, let's just get to the main event segment itself. We knew this was going to be a good match. It was a good match. It's Adrian Neville versus Tyson Kidd. It's going to be a good match. The question was, did it tell a good story? As that is what is important in my opinion. And this did tell a good story. It told the story of Tyson Kidd just not quite being able to get the win. And I think there was a nice little twist in there with Tyson getting the win, but Adrian Neville having the foot on the ropes and Natalya kind of pointing it out. And Tyson Kidd then going for the chair, but then having Natalya take the chair away from him, which leads to Adrian Neville winning. You know, even though Tyson Kidd surely would have got DQ'd anyway, so it really wouldn't have mattered. And I guess my question at the end of the day, I understand they're trying to play up this thing between Natalya and Tyson Kidd. They're doing like an inferiority complex thing with Tyson Kidd or something, if that is the correct scientific word. But why not just have Tyson Kidd use the chair? Why not have Tyson Kidd just get, really, really angry that he can't beat Adrian Neville, and then just go skips on him with a chair? Why not do that? That would have been just as good, in my opinion. And now, this whole thing is like you've had the babyface beat the heel, or, the heel in the feud, I guess you could say, now beating him clean twice, pretty much. And this is going to cause tension between Tyson Kidd and Natalya's relationship, which is probably going to relate back to Total Divas, which is something that I stay well away from. And it's one of the reasons why I watch NXT, because you don't get BS like this. That's one of the reasons why I don't watch WWE anymore. I'm tired of the bullshit. It's one of the reasons I don't watch SmackDown anymore. I'm tired of the bullshit. So this whole Tyson Kidd Natalya thing, if it leads to a heel turn and maybe something going on from there, okay, I might be fine with it. But if you're just going to play up this whole relationship bullshit, stay away from NXT, please. I really don't want to see it. It would have been better, like I said. I'm not complaining about the match. It was very well done. The whole, ending of the match and the whole tension was very well done, was very well booked. I'm not complaining about that. That was very well done. I just think it would have been much better for this feud, rather than just having Adrian Neville win clean again. I guess they have Tyler Breeze, waiting on the sidelines, so they're thinking, we've got to get this done as quickly as possible and, get ready to build that match up for whatever show they're going to build that up to now. But why not just have Tyson Kidd hit him with the chair and turn heel and have Natalya just, cry like she usually fucking does? No, just an idea. It just would have been a more badass way to make this Tyson Kidd character heel, other than, I have an inferiority complex with my wife because she's more famous than me and she always gets involved in my match and it's always about her. Oh, I really sounded like a homosexual there, didn't I? I don't know. So overall, I thought the show was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. The opening segment, was quite interesting. The breakup of the BFFs, there was some storyline there, even though they kind of went through it in 2 weeks. Pointless match between Cassidy and Sylvester Lefort. The only good thing about that is let's get fucking Enzo Amore back as soon as possible. I know he's got a broken leg. Let's get him back. It's the most hilarious segment I've seen for quite some time. All thanks to Bo Dallas. Let's just see him do more of this on WWE TV, even though they'll probably just give up on Bo Dallas and send him back to NXT and not give the fucking guy a chance, like they're doing with Adam Rose right now. How is it that these things can get over so well in NXT, but then as soon as they're on WWE TV, they either pull the plug or just the crowd aren't into it? I don't understand how that works. And the main event, like I said, the match was good. The story they were trying to tell was good. I just don't want to see this whole relationship, Total Divas stuff playing out on NXT. I think NXT should be staying well away from stuff like that to try and cater to fans like myself and maybe fans that just prefer their wrestling over their, real ridiculous storylines. I don't know. Although NXT does need some storylines, in my opinion. So we'll see where it goes. I'm not going to shun it just yet. but we'll see where it goes. Let me know your thoughts on what happened in this week's edition of NXT. Please let me know, out of 10, how you rated Bo Dallas's acting in the segment where he got pulled off by the security. Sorry, I just can't get over that. It's so funny. Anyway, I'll see you on Thursday night next week. I'm sorry it was late, but I had reason. It was to do with work, and I didn't want to get little sleep on Thursday night as I was in work early on Friday. Hence why you got it this Friday evening. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.